integrals, but it's just a different name. So we're going to talk about why those names are important. On your MCQ practice test, you have seen a lot of those. You have seen they say slope is equal to the expression. So for example, slope is equal to y over x. You're like, what the heck is slope equal to y over x? It's not equal to a number, right? It's equal to expression. So sometimes you will say a gradient. Gradient we don't use in AP, but in IB exam you do use gradient. Another time, like on your practice exam has something says rate of change is equal to 2x over y. And you're like, what does that mean? But usually they are accompanied with a question that says find a differential equation. What does that mean? Find a differential equation is basically finding y. So, but you have to understand they all equal to each other, equal to f prime x, equal to y prime, equal to dy dx, right? So dy dx is probably the things that you need to know. All those things means dy dx. So I could have said find differential equation, right? Differential equation. With slope is equal to, let's just say I have this weird equation. We're gonna say as xy over x squared plus 4. And there's two types of differential equation. There's one, it's called general solution and particular solution. So usually in this case, we're gonna do general solution because general solution means you don't evaluate for C. So you don't evaluate for C. Particular solution, you have to find C. Solution is find C. So what is slope equal to? No. No. dy dx. You actually already know this, but there's a couple things you didn't know. It's called separation of variables. What do I mean by separation variable?
Y on one side, x on the other side.
Yeah, y on one side, x on one side, but you have to make sure the two conditions are met. The y dx and dy need to be on numerator, and the x go with dx, y go with dy. Does that make sense? So that's two easy conditions. So what I'm just going to multiply both sides by dx. Why? Because that way dx can be on numerator, right? So that's going to be dy equal to xy x squared plus 4 dx. How do I get y by itself? Divided what? Divide both sides by y. So it'd be dy over y, right? Equal to x over x squared plus 4 dx. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to following with integration on both sides. I'm going to integrate this. So I'm going to write in red this is the one part that's in calculus. We only did the algebra to organize the x with dx, y with dy, and we integrate both sides. Miller, can you tell me what is integration dy over y?
It's just going to be dy squared
No.
over 2.
No. Derek?
Natural log of whatever the y is.
Exactly. It is actually correct. Natural log of y. Why? Because dy over y is one of the integral you have to know. And you're gonna say plus c, but we're gonna wait that part out a little bit. We don't want to write down plus c at this moment, and there is a reason for that. What's integration of x over x squared plus 4?
Is it 1 half by 1 half by x squared plus 4?
Yep, a lot of people kind of take two steps in their head. which is pretty awesome, which because they can see that x squared plus 4, and they see that this is a derivative. Derivative have the same degree, which is 2x dx, and which is du over 2x is equal to dx. So therefore, it's integration of x over u, and dx is tu over 2x. And you're going to see that x going to cancel out. This cancel out, and that's going to be 1/2 integration of du over u, natural log of y. And we say we don't do plus c here. There's a reason why we don't do plus c, because we need a plus c at the right hand side anyway, so it doesn't matter. So ln of y equal to 1/2 ln of x squared plus 4 plus c. Why I don't need it both sides plus c? Because if one side is plus 2, the other side is plus 5, you know your plus c is plus 3 because you just subtract both sides by 2. So, and really depend on your initial condition. In this case, doesn't even have initial condition. We just only find a general solution. Now, how do we get rid of ln? E to the both side, and you have to raise to the power, right? And that's e to the 1/2 ln of x squared plus 4 plus c. Now, here's my question. Can this e and ln cancel out? No, why not? There's 1/2 in the front. So, but this e and ln can cancel out. So that's equal to y. And we're going to do ln of, wait, hold on. ln of, oh, second. I do e to the both sides, so e equal to y equal to e to the ln of x squared plus 4 to the 1/2 power plus c. So now e and ln can cancel out, but before you do that, also understand there was another rule that you learned in algebra 1 that's equal to m plus n. Why is that important? Because y equal to e to the c times e to ln x squared plus 4 to the 1/2 power. Why is e to the c is important that place in the front instead of at the end? Because that's an exponential rule, because there are two terms. So that means e to that term and e to the second term. So e to the c is also known as a number. And that number we don't know, we're just going to call it c. Sometimes people say it's as a k, but you don't have to say it's k, you can just call it big C. Big C of e to the ln is going to cancel out. So that's going to be square root x squared plus 4. And this is called a general solutions.
What did you do with that c?
C, I just changed it to e to the c, I changed it to c. It's a constant, right? It's 2.7 to the c power. And then you can just call it a c because c doesn't matter. Now, what's cool thing about c is you can times 2 is still c. Divided by 2 is still c. The c is just a c, only determined after the initial condition, which is, here we don't have initial condition. Here we just stop right here. So that's called a general solution. In today's homework, you're going to find a lot of differential equations with particular solutions. And the first example I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it with you because first question is kind of tricky. It's a little bit algebra problems that mix in with everything. So this question, you will actually apply this tomorrow because tomorrow we have short day. So I don't have enough time to go do e to the c stuff. E to the c is equal to c just because it's not a constant.
So if you were to write down a would you be right?
You have to write down a c. You can write down e as c too. So this is the question that I want to go over, which is the differential equation worksheet right here. Okay, so You're gonna say, hey, how do I do the first one? dy over dx is equal to x minus 3 over y. Does that make sense?
Is this our homework?
Yep, this is the first question on your homework. I'm gonna multiply both sides by dx. So I'm gonna get dy equal to x minus 3 over y times dx. Going too fast? Or should I go faster?
No, okay.
Multiply both sides by y. Why? Because that's to get rid of y. So y dy equal to x minus 3 dx. So can I integrate on both sides? If I integrate both sides, what will happen? You got y squared over 2, right? Is equal to what? X squared over 2 minus 3x. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Is equal to x squared minus 6x plus c. Ethan, wake up. This is the part that people always screw up here. Is y is equal to square root x squared minus 6x plus c. You solve for y, you find the general solution. But here's a slight problem. What problem is missing?
Negative y 2 equal to -5.
Well, not yet, but what's missing right now?
C.
Well, c is right there.
Plus or minus.
Okay, so plus minus is gonna be on your SAT on Wednesday. So make sure you recognize your square roots both sides. You're not square both sides. You don't have plus minus. Only square root. Okay, only square root both sides, or even roots on both sides. Now, why does that matter? Because it kind of matter for this question. Because I will show you why it matter. Because you have a -5. I'm gonna plug in initial condition. This part is initial condition was 2 and -5. Then that's equal to plus minus square root of, if I plug in 2, so it'll be 2 squared minus 6 times 2, which is 12 plus c. So here's a question that's kind of confusing. If you square root something, will always end up to be which sign? Positive. So that means I have to choose the negative route in order to work. So it'll be -5 equal to negative square root of 8 minus 12 is going to be, I think it's -4. No, -8.
Isn't it 4 minus 12, which is -8?
-8, I can multiply, plus c. So now I'm going to square both sides. And that's going to give you 25 equal to negative times negative equal to positive. So it'll be -8 plus c. So c is equal to 33. Now be careful how you write down the final answer. The final answer is end up to be minus x squared minus 6x plus 33. But you do see that there's a negative sign in the front at a particular solution.
Yeah, why do you put negative sign in the front?
Because in order to get -5 for y, that negative sign has to be applied there. Cannot apply the plus sign. Because plus of square root of some value is going to be positive value. It's not going to give you a -5. Only if that sign is negative can apply it to become the initial condition. So the initial condition matters. So that can decide which sign is going to be. You have 7 minutes, so you have 3 minutes to complete number 2. And or you can be like Zach. Zach's probably already number 3 already.
Wait, what do you have for C for the first question?
See, I got
Yeah, because for your final answer, you got
33.
33.
But you have to solve for y, so that's not get y, that would be a negative function.
Yeah, because y is a -5, right? So the radical is always going to be positive. So if radical is positive, you have to apply the negative sign in order to get -5. Right. So that was a one tricky part for a lot of students. And you can work on the second question. Remember, it's y prime. So what is y prime, right? All those questions are really good, by the way. It's a little bit harder than AP exam. So you'll feel like when it comes to AP exam, it's going to be slightly easier.
Does it matter when it says like like when it gives you the x coordinate? Oh yeah, it does. Okay.
If you did it correctly, you'll probably get an answer like this one. Number 2. Anybody got that? The question is like this, number 2. Is y prime equal to 2x square root y? Y prime also known as dy dx, right? Can I move the dx to the other side? Can I move the square root y on the bottom? Can I integrate both sides? If I integrate this, has nothing to do with natural log because it's not y to the first power. It's actually y to the negative half power. So that has something to do with power rule.
So it's 2y to the 1/2 on the left side.
2y to the 1/2 is equal to x squared plus c. If you divide it by 2, that's going to be y to the 1/2 equal to x squared over 2 plus c. Why? C divided by 2 still c. C does not change if you divide by 2. And what are you going to do is square both sides. So it's going to be x squared over 2 plus c to the square. Now I'm going to plug in your initial condition, which is 25, is equal to 2 plus c squared. So I'm going to square root both sides. That's going to give you 5. 2 plus c, c is equal to 3. So therefore is y equal to x squared over 2 plus 3 squared. And that's my particular solution, actually. Because you're solving for y in particular, you also get a c. and you also get the evaluation. So this is number 2. I'll read the 2 questions of your homework. You just need to solve the rest of them. Sometimes might involve with factoring out something or using U substitution. So you have to review all the integral rule. Yes, Zach.
Oh, can you just like, when I squared the other side, I just squared it, so like x4 over 4. Can I do that, or did
No, don't expect it. Yeah, don't expect it.
I just said it was x squared over 2.
Plus 3 squared.
No, it's just like x squared over 2 squared. I gotta add like
Okay, so you have to find out the value of C first.
before I square it. Like before I put that. Some may say I did it, but those are just the teachers who talk.
Oh, when you integrate, you already have a plus C though.
See, like, before.
Yeah, after you integrate.
Alright.
And then so that it's going to be x squared over 2 plus C. So when you integrate, you already have plus C.
Well, that's positively created. No, it isn't. I still have the give you a little chocolate chip every single time you do it. Please?
I'll just write on Sheila's table. Every time you did your homework, I'm gonna be
That's
like,
the positive reading.
I'm gonna be like, Ethan's my favorite student. Sheila's paper
That's
table.
the positive reading.
And Feng Ye. That way it will be like.
We're gonna get him to do his homework, Mr. Yang.
It's okay. Nothing much.
You go anywhere?